Hey folks, this is Mark with OrientWatchUSA.com, and this is the Journeyman in stainless steel. SKU is FFA05001B. Now this model uses one of my favorite Orient movements. The caliber abbreviation is FA, or you can actually look at the proper caliber number of 46K40. But what you see over here is an absolutely gorgeous world time watch. And I think the price, which is set around $700, is absolutely reasonable. Now, as you can tell over here, it does have a power reserve indicator, kind of the hallmark of Orient technology. It has date, as you can see from the subdial, around the 5 to 6 p.m. location. It's got 3 hands for time, which you're very familiar with, I'm sure. But you'll see the inner bezel and the outer bezel has something really strange going on here. The outer bezel has a whole list of city names, and the inner bezel goes through military time 1 through 24. Now, what you're seeing over here is a world time watch, and as the name suggests, it's going to hold all the time information, or at least display all the time zones on your watch. Each one of the cities represents a time zone. For example, there is Denver, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles to denote the United States. So we have LA for Pacific time, Denver for Mountain time, Chicago for Central time, and New York for Eastern Standard Time. Very, very simple. But once you set it, you can forget it, because once you set it to set the watch so it knows which time zone it's supposed to be, as long as you maintain your own time zone, then the watch continually tells you what it is, what the time zone is elsewhere. Now, the reason why I made this shot over here is to show you that the dial uses alternative material. It uses carbon fiber. So this watch is not, even though it may have some classic little tinges to it, it's, I would say, a standard watch, because it's really in between a classic as well as a sports watch. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it standard. One of the most beautiful things about this watch, the attributes wise, is the band. And as you can see from this clip right here, absolutely gorgeous use and combination of both brushed and finished metals, using the just the right type of band. I'm thinking it's just complicated and just sporty enough, and both elegant enough to fit this type of case. Now, the buckle that they use has a safety, as you can see, 2 push buttons, and it's then a fold over by design. Now, one thing you can see, which is somewhat out of focus at this moment, is the exhibition case bag. And one of the coolest thing about this movement, as you can see right now, is that it is dressed. It's not only a timepiece that you can show your friends, but it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's take a look at how to adjust the watch. Now I'm going to show you how to unscrew the crown like I'm doing right here. The one around the 2 o'clock area is the crown for the watch. Now pull it to its first step, and I'll show you how to adjust the date. Very, very simple, right? I know you've done this before. Let's pull it to the second position and adjust the time. I know you've done this. One thing I'm not going to show you how to do in this video is how to adjust the time zone. But one thing I want you to know is as I adjusted the time, you'll notice how the inner bezel rotated. Okay? Now, for simplicity's sake, let's not talk about the inner bezel. Just match up. Now go ahead and I'll show you how to adjust the 4 o'clock knob to, this is the slide rule that adjusts the cities. You can use this to adjust your to match your time up, okay? I'm going to make a separate video on how to adjust this movement. Alright folks, so this is Mark with OrientWatchUSA.com. This is FFA05001B. Hope to see you wearing one soon.